My sister ruined my wedding, but I got the last laugh. This is the story of Sarah Adeyemi, a 28-year-old woman whose life had always been a blend of grace, endurance, and quiet strength. Born into a modest African household and raised with global influences, Sarah grew up believing that family was the foundation of everything. She believed that siblings were meant to protect each other, uplift each other, and stand by each other through every storm. But life has a way of proving that the people closest to you can also be the ones who cut the deepest. Sarah's older sister, Naomi, had always been the star of the family, beautiful in a striking, attention-grabbing way, confident, loud, and effortlessly charming. Naomi was the kind of woman who entered a room and owned it. She thrived on attention, admiration, and applause. And when she didn't get it, she found ways to steal it. Sarah, on the other hand, was the gentle flame, calm, soft-spoken, kind-hearted, always giving, always accommodating Naomi's moods, always trying to keep peace. While Naomi was thunder, Sarah was the quiet rain. And that is exactly why the storm came. It all began the day Sarah announced her engagement to Daniel, a young entrepreneur with a warm smile, broad shoulders, and a gentle, attentive spirit. Daniel loved Sarah with a depth that softened even her hardest days. He was proud of her, protective of her, and he adored every part of who she was. The moment Naomi heard the news, something inside her shifted. At first, she forced a smile, but her eyes dimmed. She congratulated them, but with a voice that lacked warmth. Later, she joked in front of the family that Daniel must have been confused to choose the calm sister instead of the fun one. Everyone laughed, except Sarah and except Daniel, whose hand tightened around hers. Still, Sarah extended grace. She insisted that Naomi would be her maid of honor, not because Naomi deserved it, but because Sarah believed it would bring healing. Maybe even draw them closer again. She had no idea she was inviting a snake to the center of her joy. In the weeks leading up to the wedding, Naomi behaved strangely. She wasn't present during dress fittings. She ignored Sarah's messages. When she did show up to planning meetings, she criticized everything. Is this the dress you're wearing? It's too simple. The venue is nice, I guess. Daniel is acting too perfect. It's almost suspicious. Sarah brushed it aside. She had grown used to Naomi's sharp tongue, but Daniel didn't. Your sister doesn't like me, he said one evening. Sarah sighed. She'll come around. But even she didn't believe it. The day before the wedding, Naomi visited Sarah's room. Her voice was sweet, too sweet. Sarah, are you sure you're ready for tomorrow? Sarah smiled. Of course. Why wouldn't I be? Naomi leaned closer, lowering her voice like she was about to deliver a prophecy. Because Daniel is hiding something from you. Sarah blinked, stunned. What do you mean? He said something about your past. About that thing you did years ago. You should ask him before you embarrass yourself tomorrow. Sarah felt her stomach twist. What thing, Naomi? Naomi smiled, stood up, and walked out. You'll find out. Sarah stayed awake the entire night, replaying Naomi's words over and over, the insecurity, the fear, the tension. Every single doubt Naomi wanted to plant took root. But Daniel reassured her the next morning with a gentle whisper against her cheek. Whatever Naomi said, I know it already, and I am still here. Sarah's chest softened. At least, she wasn't alone. The wedding venue looked like something out of a dream. An elegant blend of warm golden African fabrics, soft international decor, and glowing lights arranged like stars scattered across the ceiling. Guests whispered blessings, music played softly, and the world seemed perfect. Sarah walked down the aisle, her caramel skin glowing under the lights. Her gown a subtle mix of modern beauty and cultural elegance. Daniel's eyes held nothing but pure love. And then Naomi stood up. Her heels clicked against the marble floor. She walked toward the center aisle, a microphone in her hand. People turned. Murmurs rose. Naomi cleared her throat dramatically. "Before this wedding continues," she said, "I have something to say." Sarah froze. Naomi turned toward Daniel. "Daniel, did you know that Sarah once—" She said it. Her sister revealed a deeply personal mistake Sarah made years ago. A mistake she had confessed to Naomi in tears, trusting her sister completely. The guests gasped. Sarah felt her knees shake. A whisper rippled to the hall. Naomi smirked, proud of her performance. Daniel stepped forward calmly. "Yes, Naomi," he said. "I knew all of this already. Sarah told me herself. And nothing you said changes my love for her." The hall went silent. Naomi's victory evaporated. Daniel continued, "But it's interesting you chose today to bring this up. Almost like you wanted attention more than your sister's happiness." A few people shifted uncomfortably. Naomi's face twitched, but she wasn't done. As Sarah and Daniel returned to the altar, Naomi walked toward the wedding cake, a 5-tier luxury masterpiece decorated with gold accents and handcrafted sugar flowers. She stood too close, too deliberately close. In one dramatic motion, Naomi let out a fake gasp, pretended to lose her balance, grabbed the tablecloth and pulled it. The entire cake toppled over. Gasps, screams, chaos, phones recording, guests rising to their feet. Sarah's heart shattered. Naomi stood there, dusting imaginary crumbs off her dress. "Oh no, I tripped," she said with a fake innocence that fooled no one. Daniel's jaw tightened. Security escorted Naomi out as she shouted, "I did you a favor. You don't deserve this man." The doors closed behind her. Her voice was gone. The damage was done. Sarah felt tears rise until Daniel held her hand and whispered, "Love, there's something I didn't tell you." A signal to the event planner. Moments later, the staff rolled out a second cake. Identical. Perfect. Untouched. Daniel smiled. "We made a backup, just in case anything unexpected happened." Sarah burst into relieved laughter. The guests clapped. Joy filled the room again. Naomi had tried to ruin the wedding, but love won. And yet, Sarah's last laugh was still coming. 2 weeks later, Naomi's boyfriend broke up with her. He told her he wanted nothing to do with someone so toxic. "How did he know?" Naomi cried to their mother. Because the video of her sabotaging the wedding had spread online. People criticized her, called her jealous, called her wicked, called her unstable. And the final twist? Daniel had quietly installed extra security cameras around the cake table, meaning Naomi's fake fall had been captured clearly from multiple angles. Sarah didn't send threats. She didn't send insults. She simply forwarded one clip to Naomi's phone. The moment Naomi grabbed the tablecloth on purpose, along with 4 simple words, "You exposed yourself, Naomi." Naomi never replied. She blocked Sarah, packed her things, and moved to another city out of embarrassment. Sarah and Daniel continued their lives in peace, love, and healing. And Sarah learned one of life's most painful but powerful truths. Sometimes, the family you protect is the one that tries to destroy you. But when your heart is clean, when your choices are pure, when your life is rooted in truth, you will always get the last laugh. Always.